What's up, guys, and welcome back to Girlscityfitness TV.
Okay, I'm back out fresh on the scene. Franchise best on the team. Blue faces busting out the scene. New life is something like a dream. Back out fresh on the scene. Franchise best on the team. Blue faces busting out the scene. New life is something like a dream. New life is something like a dream. New life is something like a New life is something like a dream. New life is something like a dream.
Welcome back to Girlscityfitness TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today in this video, it's basically going to be somewhat of a science project on myself, basically to evaluate how I feel while on my period training, before my period and after, and then try and make sure that I can cater my training towards that. I think this is something that a lot of women should do. A lot of your training is affected by you being a woman and having periods. So when I first started the gym, I never got to understand the correlation with being on your period and attending the gym and what it could do to your training. I think back in my time, there wasn't really much conversation on it. Maybe a lot of things happened to a lot of women. I think we could probably relate back then the same way we relate now, but no one spoke about it. And I don't think TikTok was a thing. A couple of years ago, TikTok wasn't really a thing like that. I would say 2012, 2013, TikTok wasn't really a thing. And I go on TikTok now and I'm seeing so many of these memes, which, you know, you're thinking to yourself, raw, like next girl is feeling the same way. The generation today are so lucky because, you know, we have people talking about these things now and they're relatable, you know, especially the girls that are into fitness and sports now. You should really appreciate the fact that most of these things are actually getting spoken about. I think once I started powerlifting anyway, officially, I had to then understand you're going to be lifting weight and you're a woman and you're going to be having PMS. You need to understand the balance. See, before the sport, I know that around my period, I'm not bothered and I'm tired and I'm whatever. But I think with powerlifting, because I'm still training regardless, it's like I have to make the two work together. So what I decided to do is I decided to basically train, but take into mind how I feel. Right now I'm currently on this supplement. I don't really want to mention it just yet, just because once I gather these results, then I feel like it'll be best for me to say this is what it is. What's going to be involved in my calculation is if the weights feel heavier, if I have more energy left after the session while I'm training, do I have any energy? Because what happens is once I got off that supplement, or when I wasn't training on that supplement, I noticed that weights that would normally feel very light to me were starting to feel very heavy around this time. Or, you know, reps that I would be able to push on normal days would be very heavy around this time. But I'm actually going to be tracking how I feel when I'm doing these sets and reps. The only difference about me doing this challenge right now is currently I'm finishing off deload week and next week I am back into my normal rota. This experiment is just to bring an awareness to the fact that this happens. I've only done 2 official competitions, I would say, in my time in this sport. The competition that I had in May, I actually was expected to be on around the time, but I was taking these supplements. I felt strong as ever and I was on pre-workout, so I didn't actually have any side effects when it came to the competition day. Training after that and then being off this supplement, I then started to notice that these PMS symptoms were worse and I could feel them more. So now that I'm currently on the supplement, I still just want to measure the difference between how I'm feeling, if the supplement is the golden jewel for women in my sport. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Have an amazing new year and I'll see you in my next video. Peace. What's up, guys? So I started off by just placing the bands on the bar, getting ready, because I'm always going to start with the bar, and then I'm going to start warming up. So this is something that I normally do. One thing I did notice is when I am going to be on, I find that doing these are really hard. So getting to 10, because I only got up to 10, is difficult. I don't know why I shuffled like that, it's hilarious. Same thing for these as well. These weren't too bad, especially because they were given to me when I had an injury, but they just felt really good because I don't have the injury anymore. But yeah, I feel like the first warm-up exercise that I was doing was absolutely hard to get to 10. And I noticed this does normally happen around when I'm about to be on. Here I am 4 days out, so I'm really keeping track on how I feel. I start off with my first set, which was pretty okay, if I'm being honest. It was just a warm-up set. It felt good. It was just about getting into the ball of things. So far it's going okay. I'm on my last working set, so I'm going to try and really think about how this one feels. I'm really trying to find some good angles to place this tripod, but it's quite awkward asking to place your tripod when people are using machines and stuff. So I have 2 more minutes rest and then I'm gonna do it. Keep them hydrated. So this was my top set and it was 100 kg on the bar with the bands 32. I'm gonna ask Big C and put the numbers on the screen. I don't want to be wrong here, but in terms of how it felt, so doing the rep wasn't hard, but I was out of breath. So I had 3 reps to do, and doing it on tempo basis, I was out of breath after every rep. Let's just put it like that. But it didn't feel heavy. So going into the hole, doing what I needed to do to come out, that whole process wasn't heavy, coming out, doing the squat. But after the squat, I was breathless, out of breath. I think this is something I probably need to take into consideration, just because when I was warming up with legs, I was out of breath just doing the banded kickbacks, and I'm never normally out of breath doing them. I'm normally flying through them. Sometimes I'll be flying through them, I don't remember what I've stopped on, but this one I was out of breath. So this is a symptom I'm going to take into consideration. Big bed for Christmas, please, for the new year, please. So warm-ups for this was pretty okay. Sorry guys, I thought I was talking to you, but I really wasn't. The bands are still brand new, so it's hard getting to 10 when doing these. I think I stop at 8, 9. The bands still need a stretch. Even doing this, I stop at 5, 6 because the bands are still quite tough. But other than that, I still felt really warm. I still was able to warm up the way I normally do. Got my stretches in and ready to bench. Now, did I think this was going to transfer? Yes, but next clip is bench, so watch and find out. So I'm talking like bench was actually horrible, but it weren't too bad. So this was my last warm-up before my actual working set. Setup was okay. I think it could have been better on this one. It was way better on the top set, but how it felt was pretty decent. Now this is meant to be close grip. I think it's felt way better, and I think bench is probably where I'm affected more when I'm a couple of days away from my period. So I really was thinking about how I felt, and these were actually okay. They weren't too bad. They could have been better though, but I weren't mad, as you can see by my reaction. So moving on to my working set, which was 67.5, and I had to do 6 reps. These weren't too bad as well, but they were heavier than I thought they should be. Now, why I'm saying they weren't too bad is because when I look back at the video, they're flying. But actually how I felt they moved quite rubbish. Like, they didn't feel as easy and flowing as they should have felt. Because this is 67.5 and I did 60 kg on Larson and it was moving. Do you know what I mean? Larson, no leg drive. I don't know how to explain it. These could have been better. So I knew that something is about to come up. But you know what it is? I'm not too mad at the same time because it still moved. But I could physically feel that, yeah, you know, you're a little bit fatigued. So you can see by my reaction here, I was happy that was the only set I was doing. Thank you. What's up guys? So it is 2 days away from my period and I had to put some work in still and finish off deload week. I had a few bits and bobs to do, which was last and press. And this felt pretty good. The warm-up felt fine. It was just about adjusting to the bench. That was the only issue. I think I need to take my time when I'm adjusting to bench anyway, but that's not the point of this video. I felt okay. I felt good. I actually didn't eat anything as well, so I want to put that in mind because the session went really good, guys. I'm telling you. I hadn't eaten. We came in, we started training at 10 in the morning, and I was a bit, you know, would I be weak? It's 2 days away, but I felt good. I felt really, really good. After I warmed up with the bands, I felt excellent. This was my top set, which was 60 kg, and it moved really good compared to like the last day I trained. It moved way better. I don't know, I just felt more confident, and this is also last and press, so I'm not too sure if it's about me setting up the bar properly, but this felt really good. And I don't know, man, I was just surprised. Like, obviously there was still a bit of resistance in terms of me knowing like, okay, cool, I'm 2 days away, but it didn't feel bad. It felt really good. I did still feel out of breath, but I was really happy with the result of that. So moving on, I decided to show you guys the rest of my accessories. These are pull-throughs, and to my surprise, they felt like they were actually targeting where they needed to target, which are my glutes. I don't know, I've been doing them for a while and it's been really hard to target my glutes, but I felt them. And yeah, they were good. I then moved on to lat pull downs, and these felt really good as well. Listen, I was buzzing. I had no pre-workout, by the way. I had nothing in my stomach except from eating last night, but these felt really good. This one, because of them pull-throughs, I felt it in my glutes. And mind you, I've been doing these exercises for a while, but I've not felt it as much as I felt it today. So I'm not sure if that is something to take into consideration. So guys, so far, not bad. I started my session at 10 in the morning. I don't normally train in the morning, by the way, so I feel good. And I'm surprised I feel good because it's the morning time. Got a couple of exercises, and then I'm gonna find something to eat, sure. This one was hard. So moving on, I decided I'm going to work on these calves, man, because nobody's going to grow them for me. I decided to do some calf raises, and I thought this machine was actually very convenient to do them on. Mind you guys, I don't normally do this, but I had the energy to do them. I went up in weight because they were pretty easy, so yeah, these felt really good today. The supplement is the supplement, but I'm not too sure where this energy came from for somebody that normally doesn't train at this time. But yeah, it felt really good. I then decided to move on and do some single leg RDLs. These felt really good as well. It felt like everything was really being targeted where it needed to be targeted, and I'm not sure why. I don't really do anything different to my knowledge, but you know, I felt like these were really targeting my hamstrings and my glutes. So I was happy about that, but I'm not sure whether to take it as my body's, you know, extra sensitive kind of vibe, if that makes sense. So it's, you know, it's still a win-win situation anyway, because I still had energy to complete them, and I finished everything. And funny enough, guys, I actually ended up doing some more accessories. Keep watching, innit? So I didn't mention, guys, but I was actually training with some other ladies who are in the powerlifting community, some strong ladies, and we all decided to link up. So here I was being shown how to sumo deadlift. This was when I had finished all my other accessories, what I needed to do, and I was pretty much hanging around because we went out to eat after. But mind you guys, I hadn't eaten, but I had the energy to do this, so I felt really, really good this session. Yep. Come on. Hey, keep up. But yeah, guys, that's me doing my third set of that. But rounding it off, I ended up doing these as well, 3 sets as well. Listen, it was a really good session, and I'll give you guys my feedback. Keep watching. What's up, guys? So today's New Year's Day and my gym was having a deadlift party. So the good thing about this session is I just did the deadlifts and that was all. And that was the last thing for me to do to finish off deload week. Deadlifts felt really good. Before the session started, I did have some cramps coming through, but it didn't affect the session. I want to add that I was on pre-workout this session and it did help boost how I felt, because I could probably tell that I'm gonna be on, but my lifts weren't really as affected. I am due on tomorrow, apparently. That's what my app says. So I do have a full-blown squat session tomorrow. So I'm yet to see how I really feel on my first day. I will keep you guys updated, but keep watching. What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today is my first day on. This session today was very, very mixed because accessories went well, but squats could have went better. So I'm just showing you guys me warming up. 60 all the way to 160 felt pretty decent. I'm gonna obviously put how I actually felt between every single set on the screen. One thing I did notice is I was really out of breath doing everything. I was just out of breath. What's up, guys? It's me. It's my first day on, and obviously you guys have been seeing, how things have been going. 140 felt decent, innit? Just have to bring the dial out, innit? I've got one more working set, one more warm up, and then I've got my working set. Like, I'm in the mood where it's like, I just want to listen to my music. That's the mood I'm in. I'm not even bothered to record, that's the mood I'm in. I'll see you guys in a bit. Rest up. So this was my last warm up, 160. It looked better than it felt because I was thinking, Ross, it felt so heavy on my back, but I'm going to move on showing you guys how 172 felt like, or 175 actually.
If she drops, as long as she drops and like she starts shaking, watch your eye. So when it is looking my head.
Okay, so first of all, no, I didn't like how it moved. Didn't like how it felt. First rep was okay. Second rep was like, I don't even know what was going on. I don't even know if I was actually doing it wrong, or I don't have a clue. All I know is that it just felt horrible. I tried to make it up with my back off sets. This is 150, 4, 5, and I made sure I got all of them. I was like, no, you're getting this. 3 sets done. I tried to make things up with my back off set, but I really did not like the top set at all. At all. Top set, I hate it. I also didn't like my spot as well. I think it's on the floor. I don't like something like that. I didn't go in with fear. I think I was just genuinely taken over by how I actually feel. Every time my top sets go bad, I make up with my back off sets. The spotter would really irritate me as well. He just added on to the irritation. So I was like, oh, I'm famous, and like, I'm thinking, so look, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not really in the mood for that, yeah? So I completed everything on squats, so that's a plus. I moved straight on to my next accessory, which was RDLs, and yeah, they moved. but they were hard. It was 135 for 8 reps. They were hard, okay? I felt like I was lifting like 180. Like, the maddest thing is that they always move faster than it feels, if that makes sense. But yeah. Okay, so moving on, I didn't waste no time getting into split squats. It's a mixed one with this one because I really tried to challenge myself by adding more weight. I couldn't do split squats for a while ever since I had an injury, but that's cleared up now. So I thought, let me add weight. 22s, and these were hard. It's not even the weight, it's just that I was out of breath, and because I'm out of breath, it feels heavier than it is. Yeah, I needed a moment with split squats, but I completed them, so I'm cool. I'm happy with that. Lastly, I had leg press. It was very hard to pause at the bottom. I normally go a bit lower, but this machine was just a bit restricted. But after the first set, I was still able to get things done better. My second and first set was pretty much amazing, and I felt good. So accessories were way better than squats. What's up, guys? We are back for day 2 and I'm benching today. This is my last warm-up set, which was at 70 kg for 3. Looking back at the video, they moved easily. There was a bit of resistance when I was actually pressing it, so it did feel heavier than usual, but I'm giving it a good 2 out of 5 because it wasn't as bad. This is where I had to take actual, control. This was my top set, which was 80 for 3, and I decided to pick 80 based on how my program works, and I'm pretty happy I did. I noticed that I had to use a lot of leg drive, and it wasn't that much of a kiss with the bar on my chest, as much as I'd like it to be, but I was still very happy because I know that I'm on day 2 and I still have energy to do my top set. I went back down to 72.5 for 7 sets. Energy was bouncing. I did 5 sets, then went 4, then 5, then 4, then 5, then 4. So that was really mixed. But they moved. I was really happy with bench. And I'm noticing the supplement is working, because normally with bench, trust me, this weight would not move. So I'm very, very happy with the session today. Welcome back, guys. So I really wanted to wrap this up nice and easy, and I really wanted to be on screen, but we're here, so let's just wrap this up. Okay, so I started this experiment 4 days before, and I finished exactly a week. So it was a Thursday to a Thursday, 29th to about, let's just say, the 3rd and 4th of January. I'll put the dates on the screen for you. I think it was a good time, the time I started, because that's normally when symptoms arise. Now, from training on then, I noticed that I was out of breath, regardless. So for the whole time before and while on, I was out of breath. I'd taken to note that I should probably take more time when it comes to my resting time. I normally take about 4 minutes, guys, but apparently I should be taking about 5. But while on, I was taking about 6, 7. I took my time before I went back, especially when I was doing like top sets. As you guys saw, on day 1, I did squats. On day 2, I did bench. I didn't like how day 1 went with things, as you guys heard. It felt really, really horrible. Squats. I needed to breathe, especially in between doing reps. But on day 2, things improved. And although bench was a bit rocky, I noticed I had to use more leg drive. I was happy that I still got all these sets done. I still focused on my numbers and I didn't have to change any sets and reps. And this is something that I would normally do before. Okay, let's move on. So I want to mention that a couple elements came up while doing this experiment. I ended up training with the ladies and we decided to train at 10 in the morning. I didn't have anything to eat, and this is not a training time that I would normally go for. I normally train in the evenings. But this was 2 days before my periods were about to start, and I had one of the best sessions ever. And I had a lot of energy. Moving on swiftly, a day after, I decided to do deadlifts. And once again, that day went really well. I did try and move to 40, which my back then told me to leave it. But I was still happy that 220 moved just the day before my period. This is not something that would normally happen. I want to mention on this supplement, I did not have any period pains outside of the gym. This is something I noticed after. I was mainly focused on how my sets and reps were going to go in the gym than actually how I felt. I didn't receive any physical symptoms, any cramps. I didn't have a headache. I didn't have any back pain. I want to mention this because normally I would be on paracetamol if I'm in a lot of pain, and I would normally be using my water bottle, but these are the things I didn't have to worry about at all. My main symptoms was probably a mood change, which I did notice, and after my exercises, I was very tired. So I did use my energy and I did go to sleep. Okay, finally, guys, I want to introduce you to the supplement magnesium. Last year, magnesium is something I was on for about 3 months before my competition. And I noticed a significant change in my training structure and the way I felt. So whilst doing this experiment, I've been on magnesium for about 2 months. You need to give it about 1 month for it to sink into your system. And I've noticed that I do not feel any period pains or cramps, but I also have very good training sessions. So magnesium has other benefits such as supporting muscle and nerve function and energy production. So let's stop it there. You guys go and do your research now that you know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.